Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 6 of Let's Play Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. So last time we cleared out Kuldahar Pass. And now we're going to head off the main map. Can't go back to Destination Unreachable. We have to go to Kuldahar. 8
Fighting
hours
their
traveling.
way through the goblin-infested valley of the pass, the survivors of the doomed East Haven expedition at last came upon the small hamlet of Kuldahar. Nestled within the roots of a massive oak tree, the tiny cottages were a welcome sight for the weary travelers. As the party approached the town, a warm breeze blew over them, chasing away the chill of the frozen pass, and carrying with it the sweet scent of cooking fires.
Nate.
Hi.
Knew you'd make it through. I just knew it. Who are you and how did you know we were coming? I'm Nate. Arundel said that help was on its way. I've been out here every day keeping a lookout for you. Where's the rest of your army? Are you just some scouts or something? Sorry to disappoint you, but we are alone. Alone? I thought for sure that the 10 towns would send an army to help us. Wait till Arundel finds out it's just you. Who is Arundel? Arendel's my friend. He's the oldest and smartest man in the whole world. He can talk to animals, you know. You should probably go see him. He'll be wanting to talk to you too. Very well. Where can we find this Arundel? He lives across this bridge on the other side of the brook. Just look for the house with the 3 big rocks out front. Thanks, Nate. Farewell. Garth's equipment shop. Nice. See if we can get better equipped.
Not a problem.
Girth, not Garth. Ah, so where the wind blows, travelers seek shelter and supplies, mayhap. Good day, cheer to you, sir. My name is Girth. I tell by the cut of your cloth and your bearing that you are a visitor fresh to Kuldahar. Is there something you wish to purchase? What is this place? This is my shop, friend. I supply caravans in the shade of this great oak. This shop was my father's and my father's before him, and it dates almost 3 generations back, if you can believe it. Like many of the places in Kuldahar and the surrounding lands, there is much history to be found if one digs deep enough. Are you a historian? Nay, I wouldn't go as far to say that. I dabble in time's passage, perhaps, but it is not a full-time occupation, merely a hobby. I do enjoy learning more of the past and examining trinkets from around this area. I have quite a collection, a little museum of sorts. Some call it junk, but I call them treasures. What sort of things do you collect? Keys, notes, books on the region. If you happen to come across any in your travels, I'll pay a fair sum for them to take them off your hands. He said we can always buy the items back later if it turns out we need them. If I come across keys, books, or documents that I may need later, can I purchase them back? Of course! I purchase such things only for my own interest and to preserve the history and culture of the region. They do not end up on a rattling caravan to some Kalimsham market, that's for certain. Very well, may I see what you have for sale? Mummy's Tea. Priests of Horus Ray in far-off Mulhorand were the first to create this life-saving potion. A foul-smelling brew is made by boiling used mummy wrappings along with naturally desiccated animal remains. The resulting tea can then be consumed to neutralize the effects of disease and certain afflictions. Cures blindness, deafness, and disease. Wow. Bracers. No AC. Lear? Oh, those are, bard instruments. I can't sell the short bows? They're worth 18 apiece. But I can sell notes and documents. I can sell the Jasper gem. I don't see where documents can be, sold. Not these documents, anyway. And he identifies History of the North. The first flowering. For millennia, gold elves dwelt in Illifarn, where Waterdeep now stands, and Irulan, along the river Shining. From their ornate forest cities, they traded with emerging human nations like Netheril and Illusk and repulsed the attacks of the goblin races. Meanwhile, dwarven clans united as the nation of Delzone, named for the dwarf who forged the Union. This nation, existing primarily underground, extended from the Ice Mountains to the Nether Mountains. Silver Moon Pass was its western border and the Narrow Sea its eastern shore. Orcs came from north of the spine of the world, but were turned back in great slaughter by the elves. To this day, this is the homeland and stronghold for orcs and similar races. Funny we can read them without paying for them. History of the North, the Crown Wars. Humans immigrated in bands from the Shining Sea and up to the Sword Coast. They became seafarers, striking out across the waves to the Moonshaes, Mintarn, Ruatham, and the Northern Islands. Elves engaged in an unceasing war against each other, with the humans and orcs taking over the resulting ruins. Perhaps the greatest calamity to befall the fair folk was the Dark Disaster, a killing magic that took the form of a dark burning cloud. It enshrouded the kingdom of Myeritar, and when it faded away some months later, not an elf lived, nor were trees left, only an open blasted moor, the High Moor. All was not dark for the elves. Although in retreat as barbarian humans and orc hordes grew in strength, their power rose in the elven court in Evereska, remaining a stronghold to this day. They conceived of cooperation between dwarves, kindly humans, and other elves for mutual survival against orcs, marauding humans, and the tide of beasts, ogres, bugbears, trolls, goblins, gnolls, and other non-human creatures, led by the rising power of giants. Astonishingly, in at least 3 places, the fallen kingdoms and the cities of Silvery Moon and Mithranor, they succeeded with shining grace. To the east, on the sandy shores of the calm and shining Narrow Sea, human fishing villages grew into small towns and then joined together as a nation of Netheril. Sages believed the fishing towns were unified by a powerful human wizard who had discovered a book of great magic power that had survived the days of thunder, a book that legend calls the Nether Scrolls. Under this nameless wizard and those who followed, Netheril rose in power and glory, becoming both the first human land in the north and the most powerful. Some say this discovery marked the birth of human wizardry, since before then mankind had only shamans and witch doctors. For over 3,000 years, Netheril dominated the north, but even its legendary wizards were unable to stop their final doom. I think some of us know about that. Let's go ahead and grab a second gem bag since he has it. It's only 6. Okay, so we can't really... Oh, wait. I didn't even check his weapons too well. I just kind of scrolled through. What does he have? Throwing axe. Axe proficiency axe. Oh! Gareth can use throwing axes too. Bolts, girdle. Regular ring. Throwing axes. Yeah, go ahead and get yourself some throwing axes. How many? Oh, he has no room left. Dang. Well, we're going to keep these short bows till we can sell them. Dang it. Pile him on Greylash. She's strong. There's 6 apiece, so... $40 is the biggest. Cannot use item. Why? It's an axe proficiency, not usable by Kensei. I just wasted some money. Would you like to buy some throwing axes? Oh, I can't sell them now. Oh, no. Alright. Well, we did terribly in this shop. Let's get going. Garrus, can you move? Encumbered, cannot move. Oh, dear. Can you use them? You can. you do 9 to 14 with them, this gives you a Thaco of 16. And the short bow just does 1 to 6. Yeah, we'll give you the 40 and 15 more throwing axes. What's that? Battle axe. That's about good because it's encumbering her with those arrows. Alright, or those bows.
Easy as goblin pie.
That's pretty good. She's got some nice throwing axes.
Done.
Let's explore the beautiful Kuldahar. This must be... Alright,
Welcome. I've been expecting you for some time now.
Expecting us? How is that possible? We've only just recently arrived in town.
Yes, well, bad news travels upon swift wings in these mountains. I know about your expedition from Easthaven. I know why you are here, for it was I who sent for you.
You sent the messenger? You are the archdruid he spoke of then?
Yes. It was I who sent Hallister to Easthaven for help. His death weighs heavily upon my conscience. For not only was he a student of mine, but he was also a friend and trusted companion. He will be missed, as will Hrothgar and the other members of your expedition.
You know about the avalanche?
Oh, yes, I know. I also know that it was no accident. Someone or something did not want your party to reach Kuldahar alive.
To someone or something, I presume, is the reason you sent for help?
There are malevolent forces at work in these mountains. Forces that seek to undermine the delicate balance we druids have struggled to preserve for centuries.
Malevolent forces? Could you be more specific?
No, would that I could. The face of the evil remains hidden, but its presence is unmistakable. All about us, there are signs of its damaging influence on the balance. The unnatural weather, the recent rash of abductions, the numerous monster sightings in the pass. These all point towards something sinister. Even the animals sense something is amiss.
You spoke before of balance. What sort of balance are you talking about?
The balance. It is what the druids of Kuldahar hold sacred and have worked to preserve for generations. It is all around us. It is us. Balance is the harmony that is achieved when man and nature learn to coexist, no longer contending with one another, but coming together as two parts of a whole.
What can you tell me about the druids of Kuldahar?
Balance is the belief that this town is built upon, the very reason for its existence. Druids of Sylvanas, the Oak Father, have tended this shrine since the beginning. For hundreds of years, we have striven to achieve the ideal balance between man and nature. When settlers finally came to this pass, it was the Archdruid Tolban, my predecessor, who laid the foundation for the relationship that led to the birth of this community.
Who is Tolban?
Tolban was the catalyst for the transformation of the shrine from a sacred grove to a thriving community in which man and nature exist as one. At first, settlers were kept away from the site. The druids of old saw outsiders as an affront to the sanctity of the tree and its sphere of benign influence. They erected thorny brambles to keep intruders out, and used their powers to frighten away the men and women that came to build homes in a place they felt was obviously so close to the gods. It wasn't until the succession of Archdruid Tolban that things changed. Unlike his predecessors, he believed that the settlement of the valley was not only inevitable, but it was actually the will of Sylvanas. He also believed that we had been wrong in keeping the settlers away, and that the Oak Father had intended people to share in the miracle of the Great Oak from the beginning.
Cool.
When Tolban finally became Archdruid, he formed a plan to fulfill the destiny of this sacred site by bringing about a union between the Great Oak Shrine and the settlers. It was this union that the Archdruid Tolman believed would achieve the harmony that we had been striving for generations. The harmony between man and nature. As it stands, Kuldahar is a monument to this vision.
Cool.
The tree and town exist in a natural symbiosis, where it is next to impossible to tell where one leaves off and the other begins. But now, the balance is threatened.
Can you tell me more about these disturbances?
I can only tell you of what little I know. Which disturbances would you have me speak of?
Tell me of the unnatural weather.
The weather in these mountains has always been harsh, but never like this. Fierce storms ravage the valley without warning, often lasting for several days at a time, before vanishing as quickly as they come. It is barely midway into leafall, and yet the pass to the south has been snowed in entirely. Weather such as this is most unnatural. Nature presents itself in cycles that are predictable by those who know what to look for. I can only tell you of what little
Tell me
I
about
know.
the recent rash of abductions.
Oh, yes. Terrible, terrible. At first, there were tales told by travelers of companions disappearing into the night, snatched up from their bedrolls as they camped along the narrow trail that winds through the pass.
Yikes.
We did not think much of these tales, for such occurrences are not unheard of in these mountains. Then one night, Conlan's boy, Sheemish, went missing. The next morning, the whole town searched for the boy, but turned up nothing. He was just gone, vanished without a trace.
That is strange indeed.
The boy was just the first. Several nights later, another disappeared, Megan Potts, the local midwife. Her husband, Khalil, was grief-stricken to the point of madness. With barely a word to anyone, he snatched up his sword and marched off into the darkness after his wife. No one has heard from him since.
Wow.
And now, the abductions are occurring more frequently. Iden, the old innkeeper from the Evening Shade, was taken only 3 days ago. I can only tell you of what little I know.
Tell me about the monster
Which disturbance,
sightings.
as I'm sure you have noticed by now. There seems to be quite a few goblins about. It is not usual to see so many of their kind roaming the mountains so late in the year. It is almost as something has drawn them out of their holes, like carrion birds drawn to the scent of death. As if the goblins weren't enough, several giants have been spotted moving through the pass in groups as large as 10.
Yikes.
That many giants traveling together in such numbers indicates they are organized and are acting with a singular purpose. I have watched their activities closely. Their tracks trace a deliberate pattern through the mountains, almost as if they were on patrol.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing. While I was out scouting the giants, I discovered other sets of tracks I have never encountered before.
What?
What manner of beast made them? I could not say.
Yikes.
I can only
This is crazy.
tell you of what little I know.
Never mind. So
Which
what are we to do about
disturbances
all
would you
this?
have? I fear that if we do not soon discover the source of these disturbances, then all that we have worked for will be destroyed. The evil that has come to these mountains infects this town like a disease. As its people suffer, so does the tree suffer from the sickness that attacks the balance, corrupting it with its very presence. Already, the circle of warmth that radiates from the great oak has begun to recede.
Oh.
We were forced to abandon the outlying farmsteads as a result of the shrine's fading power. If we do not take action soon, I am afraid that the life-giving warmth will cease altogether.
Oh no.
Both the great oak and the town, nestled within its roots, will die. This must not happen. We need your help.
Very well. Together we shall root out this evil that threatens this town. What must we do?
I suggest you begin by investigating the Vale of Shadows. It is a place not far from here. Darkness has always clung to the floor of the small canyon, as if the light of the sun itself were wary of the place. There are a number of ancient crypts hidden within the shadows of the Vale's narrow cliff walls. There have been rumors of the dead awakening and emerging from their dusty tombs to walk once more amongst men. If these rumors are true, then I suspect that whatever is responsible for disturbing their slumber may be behind the other disturbances as well. Go to the Vale of Shadows, learn what you can about the happenings there, then return here and we shall discuss a course of action. Good luck, and farewell.
Okay. Oh, we can go upstairs? Sure, let's go
Guard.
upstairs.
Easy as goblin pie.
More stairs? Oh, those are stairs down.
Is that all?
He probably thinks this man is a
Easy
nice
as
little
goblin pie.
pad he's got here in the tree. I dig it. Writing is very good so far, wouldn't you agree? Very
Right then.
old school. Good. That's the best way I can put it.
Easy as goblin pie.
There's more. The inscription upon this stone statue reads, "In memory of the Archdruid Tolman, founder of Kuldahar." Ernst.
Not a problem.
Who are you? What do you want with me? Easy, friend. We're not going to hurt you. We just have some questions. Questions? What kind of questions? Who are you? I am Ernst, the potter. At least I used to be. Now I just want to get out of this place alive. But with all the terrible things happening in town, I'm too scared to step outside my shop. Your shop? What do you sell? This shop is my home. I used to make the pottery here, but that doesn't seem to be much point anymore. I've closed shop and packed up my things. As soon as the pass is clear, I'm heading south to Baldur's Gate. I hear it's nice there. What can you tell us about the disturbances in the pass? Disturbances? Yes, people disappearing, monsters everywhere. Even the weather has turned against us. Nobody knows why, not even Arendelle. Well, best of luck to you. Farewell.
Watch me go.
I'm watching you go, Garrus. You're good. Root Cellar Tavern. Townsperson.
Not a problem.
What? By the hells, I wasn't expecting any new faces in Kuldahar with the passes being what they are. You from East Haven? How did you get through? We were part of an expedition from East Haven, but not all of us made it. My sympathies for your fallen comrades. What happened? The pass is snowed in, and to make things worse, there's a horde of creatures in the pass, mostly goblins and orcs. I doubt any caravans will be through for quite some time. That is grim news indeed. I fear things here in Kuldahar are not much better. You may wish you'd stay in East Haven. Tell me about Kuldahar. What did you want to know about Kuldahar? Did you want to know what's been going on around Kuldahar? Do you know anything about the Vale of Shadows? The Vale of Shadows? Might want to ask Mirek. He and his brother Silas make a pilgrimage there every year to pay their respects to their ancestors. Think they left on their trip a day or two ago, though, so they won't be back for a while. See if I can find them in the Vale, then. Friend, don't go stepping foot into the Vale of Shadows. It's not a place for the living, and as long as the dead mind their own affairs, we mind ours. I have to go there. The Vale may be the source of the troubles in Kuldahar. Never been to the Shadow of Vales myself, but I've heard it's covered in shadows. It's like twilight there all the time. No good will come from the living setting foot in the Vale. Let evil feed on evil, that's what I say. Not much choice. Any advice or information you could offer would be welcome. Well, I don't know too much about the Vale, or even like talking about it for that matter. You may have better luck with some of the other townsfolk. They may know more than I do, and there's no telling what random tidbit someone might cough up when you're talking with them. I have some more questions about the town. Well, Kuldahar's not a big place, but I can tell you a bit about it if you want. How long has that tree been here? It's huge. Been here as long as I can remember. A blessing as near as I can tell. The chilly weather doesn't even touch the town with the tree growing here. It radiates enough heat to keep things green, which is a sight for tired eyes in these norths. But hells, if you came through the pass, you'll know that already. Any place I could tip back a tankard? I've got quite a thirst. You'd be looking for Whitcomb's place, the Root Cellar. You'll find that just a little southeast of the base of the great tree in the middle of a cluster of 3 buildings. Keep an eye out. With the roots being as huge as they are, you can walk right over the tavern and not know it's there. Looking for a place to rest, actually. Well, there's the evening shade, but, well, the previous innkeeper was one of the townfolk who's gone missing, and it's come under new ownership. Some halfling merchant from the south. Not a very friendly fellow, but I suppose the evening shade's all there is for travelers. You don't want to be sleeping outside with all the disappearances. Disappearances? Aye, a lot of people have gone missing recently. One of them was Conlin's boy, Sheemish. The next morning, the whole town searched for the boy, but turned up nothing. He was just gone. Vanished without a trace. Then Mother Eugenia from the church, Iden the innkeeper, Megan Potts, and others. Not a trace of any of them. Nothing. Any supply shops or weapon shops? There's two. If weapons are what you're wanting, go see Colin the smith in the northern center part of town. His forge is burning day and night, so it's hard to miss. If you're looking for general supplies, go see Girth. His shop's near Kuldahar Run, north of the bridge. It's got a railing that runs around the edge and just out over the water. Is there any churches or temples nearby? There's a temple to Ilmater here in the northeast canyon, just beneath the wrecked airship. Don't know if that's your faith or not, but the Brothers of the Reverend Mother are good people. Ilmater? Aye, he's the god of suffering, the crying god. His priests seek to help alleviate the suffering of others by taking on their pain. Don't know all the teachings, but that's pretty much how I understand it. Don't you worship him? Well, I'll tell you, friend, one look at the great tree at Kuldahar, and it seems to me that's nature's the only thing really deserving of worship around here. I mean, the branches nearly scrape the clouds, it seems. Beautiful sight it is. I thought I saw a ship lying by the great tree when I came in. Oh, you mean that airship Fiddlebender's holed up in? Yeah, well, I thought you were related to him when you first entered town. Oh, that is cool. So that's where Fiddlebender is. I've been getting tired of being mistaken for him. He lives in the airship, you say? Aye, Fiddlebender's our local alchemist, I guess you southerners might say. Makes potions and concoctions, and the occasional explosion. He'll need to start adding chimneys to pump out the smoke at the rate he's going. We saw a tower by a tree from the road. Is that your local watchtower? No, that's the tower of Auric the Grey. Fortunate we are to have a wizard this far north. Friendlier than most spellcasters I know. He values his privacy, but I still see him tip back a tankard or two with the best of them at the Root Cellar. He's got some goblin that does chores for him. I had more questions about Kuldahar in general. What did you want to know about Kuldahar? Did you want to know what's been going on around Kuldahar? I've heard some people make pilgrimages to the crypts in the Vale of Shadows. Do you know anything about that? You know, just last month, Girth was going on about one of the tombs said to be in the Vale of Shadows. Says one of them the tomb of Kraselack the Black Wolf. Kraselack? Don't think I've ever heard of him. Terrorized this region years ago, he did, with a whole legion of soldiers, shamans, and priests under his banner. It's a good-sized force for this region. It'd take a man of some strength to lead such a band, especially if it had spellcasters in it. Rumor is that he had a sword as large as a man, able to cleave enemies in half. Not only that, but it had some enchantment that helped Kraselack ward off the cold, but not the chill of death, I'd wager. Well, the good blade can be the best right hand a leader can have. Can turn a capable leader into a champion of the people. Look, if you're making your way to the Vale to try and help us here in Kuldahar, there's no reason you shouldn't have any steel that's any less than Kraselack's. Here's a small token you can use at Conlin's Smithy. You need to purchase a better blade. Take it with my good graces. Your token is appreciated, thank you. You can thank me by being cautious and staying alive. If you have to cross paths with the dead, do it from a distance with a lot of arrows. Most of them can do horrible things just by touching you. Good to know. What did you want to know about Kuldahar? Someone mentioned I talked to Mirik, and someone else spoke of Kraselack. Do you know anything about the creatures that inhabit the Vale of Shadows? Saw one of those huge worms, carrion crawlers, once by the road leading to the Vale of Shadows. When one of the townsfolk spotted it, it was feasting on a caravan guard that had stepped out to relieve himself of his traveler's burden. Must have been quite a shock to him, but not for long, fortunately. What did you do? Me and some of the men got together and drove the damn thing off with arrows. Those crawlers can paralyze a man with their tentacles, and if they do, it's a long, horrible death watching them eat you, as you lie there, helpless. Do you mean the weather? Winter's been a season of evil here in Kuldahar. People vanishing, sudden storms, monsters sighted in the pass. It's all going to get a lot worse before the year is done, mark my words. I see. Anything else you can tell me? Ask some of the other townsfolk. They may know something I don't. I must take my leave. Farewell. Got a lot of information from him, and it seems we should really stock up on ranged weapons. Unidentified potion. That might be a mummy's tea. Cool.
Done.
Let's come in here. See how long we've been playing, though. 30 minutes. Okay,
Is
cool.
that all?
Another townsperson. Stop right there. Don't take another step closer. Who are you? How'd you get through the pass? I mean no harm. What's wrong? We've had some troubles of late, and now we've got strangers in town that shouldn't have been able to make it through the pass. Care to explain how you got here? We were part of an expedition from East Haven, but not all of us made it. My sympathies for your fallen... Okay, we've been through this. Okay, nothing here. Nice little spacious house, though.
Done.
We're not going to go in the tavern just yet. I'd like to go see the Smithy.
By Shimpas, the vision speaks true. You are the heroes from my dreams.
Do I know you?
Our paths have not crossed until this day. I am Yoldair, son to Rethric, elder and shaman to the tribe of the Bear.
Well met, Yolder. What's the business about dreams and
The
visions?
vision is why I have come to this place. Tempas has guided me to you.
For what purpose?
This I cannot say. I know only that the storm of war darkens the skies of my homeland. My people are gathering in numbers greater than any have seen for generations. A king, both new and old, has risen to lead the tribes against the 10 towns. Already the first snows of winter bear the dark stains of spilt blood.
Tell me more of this new and old king.
Wolfdane is his name. He was a great warrior from an elder tribe who was slain in battle on the eve of last season. Now his body has returned from death's halls to lead my people once more as king.
You came back from the grave. What kind of undead monster is this king of yours?
Wolfdane's flesh is but a vessel, a borrowed tool. The spirit of the new king is much, much older than the form it now inhabits. It is said that the spirit of Jared governs his body. It is this claim that has fueled the fires of vengeance among my people.
Jared, isn't he the barbarian hero entombed beneath the temple in East Haven?
The same. You know our history well. Now, after centuries of imprisonment, Jared's spirit is free and rallies the tribes once more in a common cause.
If this Gerald was such a great hero, surely his cause must be just. So why are you here?
You must understand. I have read the signs. Tempas will not favor either side in the coming battles. Both my people and those of the towns shall be haunted by countless deaths without honor. I have cast my spirit into the nether realm in search of a way to prevent what must not be. My vision quest led me here to find you. You are the answer I seek.
I see. So what can we do to help?
You must come to Hengoro, to the great mead hall where the tribes have gathered. You alone can forestall the war between our peoples.
Maybe some other time. Farewell. So that is... Can I go in here?
Done.
That is the expansion, I believe. Oh, and pickpocketing. I forgot all about pickpocketing.
Very well.
How can I help? Onward.
It failed. Oh.
He died.
He doesn't take too kindly to pickpocketing. But I would be interested
Yes.
if I could
I
get
see.
something from him.
Easy as goblin pie. Aye.
Murik. Run! The Vale's filled with Yetis! Tried to outrun them, but 2 of them still chasing me. Run! Get help!
Let's spill some blood.
Ready for action.
Kraselack, get on your flail and go attack.
No prisoners!
I'm running a risk with Garrus Good Smasher. Let's mitigate that risk. Quickly, please. Oh, ball, ball.
Right then. Is that all?
Let's get Kraselack on her proper weapon.
Aye.
I did all shoot.
Ooh, who did the damage? Rindle. She's awesome with that
Ready. Watch me.
with that sling.
I stand ready.
Being a halfling and all.
Vita Mortis.
Go ahead and rage.
I'm here.
Dang it. It's gonna be tough with Garrus not having armor until we get him some magical stuff that can help him.
Ready for action.
Aye. Easy as goblin pie.
Stand and deliver.
Ready. Not a problem.
I stand ready. Vita Mortis.
I'm here.
How may I serve you? With pleasure.
Rindle Blight Flower, get out of there.
Shall be so.
There we go. And we got some Yeti pelts.
What is required?
Aye.
Those will be worth some money.
Is that all?
Thanks. I thought the time to join my ancestors had finally come. Last time I ever stepped foot anywhere near the Vale, that's for certain. There's all sorts of strange creatures roaming around there now. Vale? Vale of Shadows. My brother Silas and I made a pilgrimage there to pay our respects to our family crypt like we do every year. But this time, I don't know, the Vale seems different. Cursed somehow. The shadows have come alive and there's Yetis roaming the paths attacking travelers. Your brother, where is he? Silas didn't make it. The largest Yeti I've ever seen tore out of the snow and took a piece of him with it in its claws. He fell, dead as a stone, blood everywhere. There was nothing I could do. He was carrying our family heirloom, but it's lost to us now. I can try and recover that heirloom for you. Can you tell me how to get to the Vale? We were taking the main path, but considering how many beasts were in the Vale, Arendelle may know a safer path you can take. He wanders the mountains quite a bit and knows more of the hidden trails than there are branches on the Great Oak. His home is southwest of the Great Tree. It's a 2-story house made out of stone. I already spoke to Arendelle. I'll be on my way to the Vale soon. Thank you. Now that Silas is gone, the heirloom is all I have left to remember my family by. I would appreciate its safe return. Also, if you come across any more Yetis, you might want to collect their pelts once you've done away with the beasts. Colin, the blacksmith here in town, buys the pelts for a fair price. Auric may be able to make something out of those pelts, too. Farewell.
Ready.
Cool. Well, we're going to be slaying a lot of Yetis, I guess. Brother Ferg. Greetings, weary traveler. Are you in need of aid? Yes, I'm a stranger to this town. Perhaps you could tell me what services I may find here. Of course. What services in particular do you seek? in need of a healer. Then the blessings of the broken god are upon you, for you stand before the house of the Bleeding Rose. This is a place dedicated to the worship of the Lord on the Rack, Ilmater. All who are in need of succor and welcome here. Please step inside the revered Sister Kaliana shall ease your suffering, friend. Could you tell me about other services? You need a place to rest for the night. What travelers we get out in town can find lodging at the Evening Shade. It's a modest inn nestled within the trunk of the great oak. It used to be run by a man named Aiden, but I understand it's come under new ownership. I have not yet met the new owner. However, I have heard he is a halfling gentleman from the south. Could use a drink. My friend, those that embrace the broken god needn't seek comfort at the bottom of a mug. However, those that wish to indulge in spirits are oft found at the Root Cellar, a small tavern directly to the west of here. My thanks. Looking to purchase weapons and equipment. What weapons we do have in Kuldahar are forged by Conlon the Blacksmith. His smithy can be found on the northern edge of town. As for general supplies, our local amateur scholar Girth has a shop right across town near the Western Bridge. Thank you, farewell.
I'm badly injured. I fear I might not make it.
Oh yeah, she takes that damage when...
What is your command?
She comes back from raging.
Not a problem.
The northern side of town. Can we come up here? Up on this ledge? Very cool ambience and ambience. There's the smithy. Blacksmith's anvil, often used to make or repair tools. Alright, let's see how long we've been playing. 42 minutes. Next time we'll meet the smithy and explore more of Kuldahar. I want to thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this lore-filled and awesome writing episode. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And commenting and all that good stuff. Much love, peace, and joy, guys. And next time we'll do some serious blacksmithing and check out the rest of Kuldahar. So long.